Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-Lila. We have been reading the pastime between Lord Chaitanya and Prakashananda Saraswati, and how Lord Chaitanya has been describing to Prakashananda Saraswati the glories of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So text 84, Krishna Vishaya Kaprema Parama Purushartha Yara Age Trinat Tulya Chari Purushartha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation are known as the four goals of life. But before love of Godhead, the fifth and the highest goal, these appear as insignificant as straw in the street. Again, we are coming to the point of love of Godhead. So usually religiosity, people think, in the Vedas also, they deal, a great part of the Vedas deals with this. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. So this is all material. People want to do pious activities. Why? So we can get more opulent. Why? So we can enjoy more. Then after enjoying, we feel frustrated. No matter how much I enjoy, I'm still not frustrated. I want to give up this world. I want mukti. All these are on the material platform. But the highest goal, that is love for Godhead. That is a spiritual goal. And these others, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, it's like straw in the street. While chanting the holy name of the Lord, one should not desire the material advancements represented by religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and ultimately liberation from the material world. As stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the highest perfection in life is to develop one's love for Krishna. Prema Pamartho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matam Idam. So again, we see that how all the scriptures are bringing us to that point. Love for God, love Krishna, revive this love that we have. And this love can easily be revived by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So the holy name, the Hare Krishna mantra, sorry. The Hare Krishna mantra is Chintamani. What is Chintamani? Chintamani is that whatever you ask, your desire will be fulfilled. So Harinam is Chintamani. It's called Harinam Chintamani. Whatever you ask, desire will be fulfilled. Now, we are very foolish. We are foolish. Why? Because our heart is full of material desires. But whereas the holy name can give us the highest. What is that? Love for God. So Lord Chaitanya is telling us, don't be foolish, Don't be foolish. Don't ask for this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You're going to get love for God by chanting this holy name. Why you want to get Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha? By doing Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, you'll still be in the material world. What? I'll get moksha and I'll still be in the liberated world. How will that be? Why? Because you'll still not be situated in your original position. And because our original position is what we need to be in to have the permanent, what is that called? In our permanent liberation, never coming back to this material world again. So just by chanting the holy name, we can get love for God. When we compare love of Godhead with religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, we can understand that these achievements may be desirable objects for bubukshus, or those who desire to enjoy this material world, and mumukshus, or those who desire liberation from it. So those who want to do bhukti or mukti. Bubukshus means bhukti. I want to enjoy the material world. or mukti, I'm frustrated. I have want nothing to do with this material world. But both of these are insignificant. This um, dharma, artha, kama, moksha is insignificant in the eyes of the pure devotee who has developed bhava, the preliminary stage of love of Godhead. So we are being encouraged to come to this point because we have it. We just have to revive it. It's not impossible. Each and every one of us has this love for God. And before love is bhava, emotion for God. So we are being told, you continue chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and you will get this. And so we are being said that don't ask the holy name for these material things. Ask the holy name for love for Krishna. Dharma, religiosity, artha, economic development, kama, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation, are the four principles of religion that pertain to the material world. Therefore, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is declared, Dharma prohijita kaitavatra. Cheating religious systems in terms of these four material principles are completely discarded from Srimad Bhagavatam. For Srimad Bhagavatam teaches only how to develop one's dormant love of God. So Srimad Bhagavatam, right in the beginning, first canto, first chapter, second verse, Srimad Bhagavatam immediately rejects all the cheating religion. Dharma prohijita kaitavatra. The Srimad Bhagavatam says that nothing, all this is cheating religion, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Srimad Bhagavatam is helping us to revive our dormant love of God. It's nothing material. It's nothing material. It's helping us, giving us the highest treasure, which is love of God. The Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavatam, and therefore it ends with the words Sarva Dharmam Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 80, text 66. So Lord Krishna, in his instructions to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, he tells him, he speaks the full Bhagavad Gita to him. Then finally he tells him, just surrender unto me. You give up all varieties of religion. You just surrender unto me. And I will take care of all your sinful reactions. Because Krishna is telling Arjuna, you drive away all types of other religious principles you have. You just surrender unto me. So Arjuna might have a doubt. What you saying, Krishna? I will get so many real sinful reactions. What's going to happen? Krishna will say, I will take away all your sinful reactions. Arjuna might say, are you sure, Krishna? So Krishna is saying, do not fear. We just have to have faith in Krishna. He's God. Why is God going to lie to us, What is it that we have that God doesn't have? God is just helping us to revive our love for him. So he's saying, you just surrender unto me. That is where Bhagavad Gita stops and Bhagavatam begins. So Bhagavatam is showing us how to surrender. That is bhakti. By hearing about Krishna, we are surrendering to him. We are engaging in bhakti. To adopt this means one should reject all ideas of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, and fully engage in the service of the Lord, which is transcendental to these four principles. So when we are hearing from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Caitanya Caritamrita, all these scriptures, we are engaging in bhakti. They have nothing to do with dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They are helping us to revive our dormant love for God. This is devotional service. And we should take it up with determination, with sincerity. We should take up the hearing and chanting with sincerity, with great endeavor. Try to understand what we are hearing. With great endeavor, try to hear the holy name. And we will revive our love of God because it's a science. It's a science. That's why it's called science of Krishna consciousness. It has to happen. It will happen. Love of Godhead is the original function of the spirit soul. So that is our original activity. love of God, acting on the platform of love. That is what is the identity of every living soul, the activity of every soul, the function of every soul. And it is as eternal as the soul and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's not that once we get liberated, then, oh, bye bye, God, I don't need you anymore. I can pretend I'm God then. No, no. We have an eternal loving relationship with God. When we say eternal, it means it's never ending, never gonna end. The relationships we have here in the material world, they will come to an end, either with they either end in frustration or ending in death. So all the relations we have in this material world are temporary, but our relationship with God, that is eternal. That is eternal, and we need to revive that. That is we have been given this opportunity in the human form of life. We can't do it when we are an animal or a bird or a tree. We don't have the resources, but in the human form of life, we can. And that's the reason we are encouraged to take up this process of bhakti with determination, so that in this life itself, we can perfect our life and go back home, back to Godhead. This eternity is called Sanatan. When a devotee revives his loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it should be understood that he has been successful in achieving the desired goal of his life. So this is the goal of life. Then reviving loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At that time, everything is automatically done by the mercy of the holy name, and the devotee automatically advances in his spiritual progress. So that should be our prayer, to revive our love for God. So that can be done in this life itself, if we take up the process of bhakti very sincerely. Is that okay?
Yes.
Do you want to add anything? Comment? If not, then we'll stop here. Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.